Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to PG-13 month on my channel. And we have a good one today. It's a 1996. This is a good movie from that year. Fuck Mars Attacks, because that movie is so stupid and so dumb. This movie is dumb, but it also knows what it is. And that is the Sly Stallone movie that's not as bad as critics say it is. Daylight. And it is a PG-13. There it is, right there. PG-13 for disaster-related peril, death, and destruction, and also there's some violence and some. They do curse in it, so it's not really a kids movie, but it's basically the curse words that you've heard in every Marvel movie for the past 10 years. So, Daylight. I saw this movie when I was a kid. I was like 12 when it came out on VHS because it came out in like December or January of 1996. So when it came out on VHS, I was like 11 or 12. And it's from the director of The Fast and the Furious and Triple X. So pay attention, Josh and Sean. Yeah, this movie was directed. This is what he did before those movies. And this is a fun movie by Universal. I like this movie. I don't understand why it underperformed. I don't get why it gets a Razzie for Stallone as the worst actor. I'm sorry. This is a lot better. He's doing better acting here than he did in freaking Escape Plan 2 or whatever the fuck he's been in recently. Now, this is directed by Rob Cohen. I really like this director. He has a sense of humor. I like his commentary is always nice to listen to because he seems like a really decent human being. He does the best he could with every film he does. This movie, the first Triple X, the first Fast and the Furious. While it's not as good as the sequels, it's the first one, so it's as good as it could be. And I know this is a controversial pick, but I prefer what he did with the Mummy 3 than what freaking Steven Summers did with the second one. The second one was just overstuffed. I hate Rachel Weisz, and the movie has some of the shittiest CGI I've ever seen. In Tomb of the Dragon Emperor was a different story, a different actress playing Evie, and it was shorter, so I win. But anyway, this is not about Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. This is about Daylight. I defend that movie because it's fun. Fuck the critics. Like I say with this movie, I enjoy this film. It says Daylight does for the tunnel what Psycho did for the showers. An explosive film. Pat Collins, WWOR TV UPN, New York. I agree with that. This movie's a lot of fun. It did not deserve the hate. It's a disaster movie in New York City in the Holland Tunnel. I believe, is it the Holland Tunnel or is it the Lincoln Tunnel? Yeah, the Hudson River in director Rob Cohen's Daylight with an explosive. It says here, when an explosion seals off a commuter tunnel, the survivors are faced with toxic fumes, fires, impending collapses of the tunnel. Their only hope lies in the hands of Kit Latura, Sylvester Stallone, a former emergency medical service chief who is haunted by a tragic past. Yeah, because he couldn't save somebody in the beginning of the film. As the walls cave in and the tunnel fills up with water, Latura risks his own life to save others and prevent the disaster from escalating into an even greater catastrophe. Amy Brenneman co-stars in this thrilling adventure. Yeah, I love Amy Brenneman as an actress. I think she's beautiful. Yeah, she whines a lot, but like I said, you live in New York City for decades, it'll do things to you. Case in point. But I like her as an actress. I've liked her, and she was in Casper in a brief role. She did some TV shows, and I do like her. She's always dependable and very sexy, by the way. And filled with spectacular effects. Yes, the effects of the freaking miniatures that they use and the background they use for New York City and also the destruction. It's collateral damage that makes sense here in New York. And yeah, heart pounding intensity. Yeah, Daylight will have you holding your breath from start to finish. Yeah, I did. And this movie is not 2.5 hours. It's an hour and 55 minutes. So it's 5 minutes short of being 2 hours. It does its job. If you've seen San Andreas, it's basically that, but just under a tunnel. And yeah, there's a lot of people in the cast. You got Viggo Mortensen. This is before he did Lord of the Rings. You got Dan Hedaya. He's in the film for a while. You got J.O. Sanders. He was the douchebag from the Angels in the Outfield remake, Ranch Wilder. You have Claire Bloom, Karen Young. You have a young appearance from when she was a lot older of Daniel Harris. She's one of the girls that's stuck in the tunnel with a bunch of these kids. And there's a bunch of teenagers, like, in a school bus. I think there's some prisoners, as one of them is black, and he's really tough. Of course, he dies because, you have to have that. There's also a guy that works with Stallone in the movie. He's black, and he gets hurt and he has to stay behind because he gets an injury that he can't get out of. So Stallone's like, I don't want to leave you, and he's like, no, leave. You got to get out of here. And his wife is waiting for him, and then when she sees that he doesn't come out of the manhole at the end, she starts crying. I'm like, yeah, because he sacrificed himself. And the film has some tension. When the thing happens, you don't see it coming. Like, it's just, I know it's a movie, so you're gonna, the title, but yeah, it's really intense. The isolatedness of the movie really gets you invested. It was a time where there were a lot of disaster movies in the mid '90s. You had Twister, you had Volcano, you had Dante's Peak, you had not Asteroid was on TV at around that time. You had the Deep Impact. There were a lot of movies where things were getting destroyed, whether it's cities or tunnels or freaking volcanoes, just natural disasters. And the film, yeah, it looks great. Rob Cohen knows how to keep the camera rolling. Um, it's written by Leslie Howard. I mean, not Leslie Boheim. And the visual effects are done by Industrial Light and Magic. The same people that gave us the glorious effects for Star Wars. Yeah, for Star Wars, the prequels and the original, right there. Yeah, those same people. They know that did miniatures. No bullshit CGI. There is CGI in this, but it's not. Most of it is practical stuff. It looks good. It still looks good. It doesn't look like it's dated from '96. It's actually really well thought out. And like I said, yeah, the cast. People say that the supporting cast is kind of weak. They do complain a lot, but like I said, still I watch it for Stallone. He's very likable, he's very strong, and he gets as many people out as he can. There's even a dog in the movie that gets free. So yeah, this is no Independence Day, I'll tell you that. But I like the movie. If you've never seen Daylight and you want to see a Stallone movie that's not full of like too many curse words from his R-rated stuff like Rambo 4 or Cobra or Tango and Cash, this is one of his lighter films when it comes to the violence. There is blood in the movie. He bleeds a lot. There's scenes with him and Amy Brenneman, yeah, and they don't make it into a love story, which is nice because you don't need Stallone to fall in love with her. I do. I mean, I sympathize with her. Her apartment had a rat inside of her, her drawers, and she was, she was a mess, and she was in her car, and she has nowhere to go. At the end, she basically has to go with Stallone through a bridge, and he's like, "Oh, great, we got to take the bridge." Yeah, and it's fun. It ends on a light note. It doesn't. Not everybody dies in this, like in freaking Rogue One. I'm not gonna let that go. You do not make a movie where I'm invested in the characters and then you kill them off halfway through. That movie I was not invested in, so when they all died, I didn't give a shit. It just pissed me off even more. Here, some of the people die, but some of them are asking for it. Others are not. The black guy that gets his legs crushed, he has nowhere to go. He's basically paralyzed. Some of the Viggo Mortensen dies. I mean, because he's not the lead of the movie. I do like seeing him in movies. He's a very good actor. Um, and I do like the effects. I think the effects still hold up. I don't think Stallone gave a Razzie-worthy performance. I've seen way worse from him and from other actors. The Razzies never liked Stallone. They think that every time he sucks in a movie, that it's his fault, and it's not his fault. He didn't write or direct this. When an actor sucks, it's all the writer's fault and the director. And if the actor's foreign, they should be the one to put effort. If you don't, you know what you get. But I'm not. I'm gonna say let go of that because, like I said, I don't give a shit about episode 9. So if you guys ask me, hey, the trailer for episode 9 came out next year, I don't want to see it. I see no trailer. I hear no trailer, and I don't want to speak about it because that franchise is dead. It was dead when episode 7 came out. So at least with this movie, one and done. It was entertaining. It has a fast pace. It doesn't take an hour for something to happen. It doesn't have a big foreign cast in it. And mostly, I don't think so anyway. And it's well. The music, the score is really intense. Who did the score? Um, co-producer, producer, written music. Danny Endelman. Yeah, he did the score. He did a good job. Like it sounds like a good score. This reminds me of a John McTiernan movie because Rob Cohen has kind of that same style where he uses a lead action star and he really projects their emotions and he gets the world that he's trying to produce. That he's trying to produce. He's not making a freaking documentary, people. He's making a fun action film with disastrous consequences of what happens when nature just, goes awry and when things go wrong. And when, people are in peril. People are in peril every single day. And, the movie, there are some images in the movie which, yeah, if you see this movie, you'll understand what I don't like in the film. And like I said, yeah, the complaining can get on my nerves, but like I said, there's a mute button for that. And I do like Amy Brenneman. She's not in the film she's in the film, but not. It's still Stallone's movie. It's not like she takes the movie away from him. And like I said, Rob Cohen's a really good guy. He's a good director. He knows the audience he's catering to, unlike some people. And he does films that are not 2.5 hours long. Like a good hour and 30 minutes, an hour and 50 minutes, that's all you need. And he doesn't make shitty comedies. He doesn't put comedy in the movie that doesn't belong there. There's some humor in the movie, but it's mostly serious. But, you have to. In a disaster movie, you can have a joke or two. But making everything a joke, like, haha, there's water, we're going to drown. That's not funny. Know your tone. That's the problem with these recent freaking movies. Yeah. There's freaking schizo. They don't know what tone to put. Here, it's a consistent tone. It's fast-paced. It's a good-looking movie. Your lead is a kick-ass man. There's a reason he's been relevant since the 70s. And this is not anymore. Toys are being freaking thrown in freaking Goodwills and freaking grocery stores, and nobody cares. I would love to get a Sylvester Stallone toy, whether it's from Rocky or Rambo or from Cobra or whatever. The guy's still badass. He's old, but remember Guardians 2? He's in like 2 scenes in that, and he steals the movie from Michael Rooker just like that, and he's still got it. Creed, they said that was his comeback, and he got an Oscar nomination. So obviously, the critics are freaking taking notice, and yeah, and he's a really good actor. He carries the movie on his shoulders, and he's not a freaking Gary Stu. He's not Superman. He has flaws. He's freaking vulnerable, and he carries the people out of the freaking hole. And it's a long movie, but it goes by quick. The hour and 55 minutes. Think of it like Mission Impossible, but underground instead of in the city or like hanging from a building. And like I said, there's a lot of it that I really like. And if you have not seen this movie, go watch it on Netflix or rent it on Hulu or find it on DVD or Blu-ray because it's worth your time. And there's a music video on the DVD with Bruce Roberts and Donna Summer, rest in peace, Where There Is Love. Yeah, I do have some love for this movie. I saw this when I was a kid, so it has a special place in my heart. And it's a PG-13 Stallone movie that I enjoy. It's flawed. It's not perfect, but it knows what it is. That's why I can see movies like this and the Sharknado movies, because they know what they are. They're not trying to be freaking, I'm going to tug at your heartstrings freaking dramas that the Academy wants to see every year. That's not my kind of movie. I want to have fun, and this is fun. And so are the Sharknado movies. I can't wait to see the last Sharknado this Sunday. I'm going to review it. I'm going to laugh my ass off, and you guys are going to like it. Because my friend, I got him into those movies, and the guilty pleasures, exactly. Sometimes it's good to feel guilty about liking something that's dumb, but it knows what it is. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video. I want to spice things up. I don't want to just review the same movies. I'll eventually review Insurgent and Allegiant and other movies, because next month is going to be Caucasian Movie Month. Basically, every movie I review has to have a male or female star that's white. There's plenty of movies to choose from, so I got a lot on my plate. Then October's House of Horrors. November's going to be, hopefully, box office movie flops. So, yeah, movies that didn't do financially well. Not movies that critically got panned but did well. Not those. They have to be financial failures. And December is Christmas, so yeah, I got a lot on my plate, but hey, I'm here to stay, YouTube. I'm not going anywhere. That movie proved that, yeah, movies can be fun again. And I'm going to talk about the fun ones and the hidden gems right here on this channel because you guys deserve it. It's been a long year. It's been a painful freaking long decade. And so many people have disappeared like that because Thanos just willed it and people left YouTube. Or they passed away, like my good friend Emer, who, by the way, rest in peace, Emer. I miss you. Your YouTube channel is not forgotten. I always go back to his channel to watch it because I want to get some laughs. It's the best medicine, guys. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. To make a long story short, see you in the next one.